Welcome to Confessions Beyond the Food. I'm your host, Nancy Redland. Let's dig in and get inspired. Hello, and welcome back to Confessions Beyond the Food. My name is Nancy, and I'm with W3 Sales. Today, we are meeting with some of my team members across Texas and Oklahoma, and it's going to be really fun. So we've introduced a couple of our team the past two episodes. You guys got to meet Kevin and Tracy, part of the leadership team. You got to meet some of our people from our brand department, Alex and Macy. And today, you're in for an amazing treat. You get to meet some of our sales consultants, and they are so much fun. So let's start north this time and go south. Okay, we have Lori in one corner representing Oklahoma.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. And the other side of the ring, we have Miss San Antonio, Miss Mallary Mann. Yes.
Hi, everybody. Mallary Mann here in San Antonio. Yes. Hi.
And in the other side of the ring, we have our newest addition in Austin, Miss Vina Finke.
Hi, it's Vina Finke. How is everybody doing?
Hey, so we are so glad that you're listening today, and we just want to share what makes these ladies special and hopefully inspire you to either maybe you're thinking about getting into food service sales, or what does it take, or hey, I'm in a rut and I just need some encouragement. That's what this is all about. And these ladies are very encouraging. They're very positive, and they're really hard workers. And so, and they come from different backgrounds. So Lori comes from a food service background. And so Lori, tell us a little bit about your career.
Well, okay, so I got into the food service industry in 2014. So I came from advertising up to that point. My husband is a food editor or he was at the time, he's actually gone now, but he was the food editor for the Oklahoman, the state newspaper. And I got to know all of the people in the restaurants and the kitchens, and just really liked the people. I mean, just so easy to talk to, and just, I don't know, just like I love the vibe in the conversations, just real people, really hardworking people. So I wanted in. And yeah, that's where I started.
So Lori, I have to maybe get some clarification. You meant gone now, like not past, but like he's just left that job, your husband.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. He's
Okay.
he
I was
left
like,
the
did
Oklahoma.
something change?
No, he left the Oklahoma a year ago, and he's pursuing, he's writing a couple of books and doing his own blog and podcast, staying busy with all of that. So sorry. Oh my gosh, awful. No, he's still
No,
very
it's
much
okay.
alive.
Just wanted to clarify,
Yeah.
so we don't get any fact checkers around here. So okay, so we also have somebody else on our team, and these are really the first two ladies that we have hired within the food service sales industry into W3. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet Mallary. So Mallary, tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, hello, everybody. Ultimately, I want to say I've probably been in this industry my whole entire life. I remember actually just growing up and being in my grandmother's kitchen, ever since I was able to. So that's kind of where I originally started a passion for it and the creativity. I have actually been on the food service side for, don't age me, but over 20 something plus years myself, from operating to selling to consulting. I have the chef burns to prove it too, right? Been from front of the house to back of the house operations, between Dallas Fort Worth area to San Antonio. And it's just a creativiness and a passion that is totally different. And it's what I know and what I really love. I love everybody in this industry, to be honest with you. Like Lori was saying, it's just a great connection, and it's a totally different world. It's such a large but small world. I've noticed even more. But we all come together no matter what, and that's what the industry is all about, is to help each other no matter what.
Absolutely. And also we have Vina, who has been on the ops side, but is new to food service sales. So Vina, tell us a little bit about you.
Yes, I am completely new to food service sales. I am definitely not new to food service, though. Since high school, I think I was an ice cream scooper. I worked in a burrito restaurant. I worked in fine dining. I worked in dive bars. I've kind of run the gamut on that side of things. And so this is my first time stepping over into the sales side. And I am so excited to be here, and I'm loving it. And yes, Mallory, I totally know what you mean about the community, because when I was behind the bar, people would come in and they'd be like, I used to bartend. And I'd be like, okay, I get it now. I'm like, these are my people, and I'm just a different role in this industry. But hospitality industry is really like in your soul. I believe that.
I do too. I totally agree.
Yeah. So that passion, I think that in falling in love with the industry, and I have to say that about these three ladies, is that that's one of the reasons I was so attracted to bringing you guys in, was that you really, different ways, but like came at this, like, I love this. I love doing this job, this type of job. And Vina, you weren't totally sure what we did.
What the job was. I just knew I wanted it.
Yeah. And then when you get in, it's kind of like, I always tell people, I'm like, don't fall in love with this, because you'll never get out.
Yeah, once you get in, you can never get out. I've heard of people trying to get out and you can't. And, I originally, sorry to chime in, but I originally, was a culinary manager with a larger corporation for several years and working the 60 to 80 hours a week. And once I resigned from that, I was like, I'm never going to go back into this lifestyle again. Now look at me. I'm back in it for over another 10 years. So, it
It definitely draws you in. I know I tried to get out of it and I came right back, because I just want to be in the back with the kitchen and talking to the chef about all the things. So, I mean, there's nothing like schlepping, a bunch of stuff on 110-degree day in Texas or Oklahoma, all of our wares. I mean, it's so sexy.
Yeah, I gave up on having fingernails a long time ago. So yeah, it doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Nancy called in to check on me the other day, and all of a sudden I was like walking down the sidewalk, and the sidewalk ended. I had my samples and I had my catalogs, and there's like horns honking, and I was in a construction zone, and there was just like no more sidewalk. She's hearing me. She's like, "Where are you? Go get somewhere safe." I was like, I'm standing in the middle of traffic off 35 in downtown Austin. But yes, I love this glamorous job.
Yes.
It's very glamorous, and sometimes you're like, wait, where am I? This doesn't sound like a safe thing. I've been on so many construction sites, and I just, we were taught, just go on in, just go in and just find the decision maker, who's ever on site. And I mean, I would walk past like construction workers, falling, and I was a hazard.
Put me in heels and then I'll be your hazard. There you go. No, I'm just checking.
Those two. Hey, did any of you guys wear, like Lori or Mallory, did y'all wear heels back in the day in this job? Because I used to.
Absolutely. And I look back and it's like, I think of all the people that were like, how do you do that? How do you? And I'm like, what are you talking about? But oh yeah, I used to.
But do you now?
No, I mean, well, if anything, it depends on how much moving around I know I'm going to be doing. Rarely, though. I mean, like rarely. I didn't think that they would ever come, but yeah, it's
I do that thing in like 80s career woman movies. I keep shoes, different like backup shoes in my car and in my purse.
Yes.
And sometimes I do slip a little heel on, because sometimes it really is a glamorous job. I know we're like making fun and stuff, but sometimes you're like in the beautiful hotel or
Yeah.
you just want to feel a
Yeah.
little pulled together and like you are part of it, you know?
Right. I agree.
I wear a low pump now and then.
Yeah, me
Get a
too.
little crazy. What about you, Mallory?
I am just a pure hazard in heels in general. I mean, I've tried to wear them for date nights and stuff, and it's just awkward for me, to be honest with you. I'll do it occasionally, but as far as in this whole entire industry, probably not, unless like it's a meeting or something like that.
I
Not
rock
going,
those boots.
job. I'm sorry.
You rock those boots.
So yeah, I was actually about to just get there. I am, 90% in my cowboy boots. One specific pair, yes, they're getting old and stuff, but they're my pride and joy. They are my go-to everything. They're slip resistant, grease resistant, and they're absolutely beautiful. They were an anniversary gift from my husband, and they're absolutely beautiful. But I also have to be careful with those sometimes because they are an animal skin of some time. And I remember I actually have done a cold call before, and I walked into a casino that, was not approval of that. And I literally had to go buy new shoes and they were heels and then go do the call again.
Oh,
But you're like,
So,
are you really willing to take this risk of me changing out of my boots and falling? And
I did. I ended up, and the sad thing is that the only pair that was that was available was actually an open toe as well.
oh,
Open toe, like sandal heel, and I'm all,
Fire.
oh, I got kicked out of the building for wearing open-toed shoes in the kitchen. Has anybody else, or is that just me?
nah, hospitals. Oh gosh, I can't. I want to. It was Integris Baptist Hospital. And this lady that ran the kitchen, she's retired now, but she was a stickler. I mean, you didn't get past the door frame without a hairnet, and yeah, I was told to either go down to the gift shop and see if I could buy some sort of a slipper there, or come back after I can make a trip home with some different shoes.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, some people don't play. I mean, she would not let me, I wasn't even in the kitchen. I was just in the back, by purchasing. And she said, nope, you're not coming into this hotel. You're going to have to walk all the way around the building, to drop off your samples. I was like,
yeah.
okay. And so, yeah, so the shoe thing has always been a conundrum for me. I mean, back in the day, I used to wear like heels all the time. And I'm like, how did I do that? I just don't know. So one time I was coming out of a hotel, and it was through the back, and it was in the loading dock. And I was by myself, and I had all this stuff. And I'm sure if you've ever seen me, like my car, anything, I always have stuff everywhere, my purse and, a phone. And I fell off the loading dock. Like, I mean, totally tripped and totally fell like a couple of feet, like whatever, 3 feet up.
Yeah.
And I had China in my hand. So China just went everywhere.
oh, no.
And I was just laying there and I was bleeding, but I started laughing because I was like, oh my gosh, like nobody saw this. Only me. Only me. I'm like, that's pretty sad. Like I really wanted to, and I was hurting so badly, but I'm like, I really needed somebody to like experience that with me. It was wild. So I don't know if y'all fallen like that before.
Ouch.
I mean,
Oh yeah.
not yet, but I'm sure it's coming. I dropped stuff though and been terrified. And I'm impressed with the strength of a lot of our products, I will say.
You're like, that was meant to happen. I meant to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Only if it doesn't break. So,
Right.
so Vina, what have you been most surprised coming in the industry?
God, that's such a good question. I guess I've just been most surprised by how much goes into it. I thought this would be kind of a simple, like, I'll train, I'll get it. And it's like every day I have more questions about, I mean, honestly, at this point, I think I call Kevin more than my husband. And then when I worry that I'm exhausting that source, I call someone else, and I call Mallory a lot, but there is there are so many layers to learn. So, I mean, for me, especially because I was so green to this side of things, but thank God we have such an amazing team because I have a lot of lifelines and I use them a lot.
That is really, really smart because and it also kind of gives you some different perspectives, because I may answer it one way and Tracy might answer it another, and Kaylani, has her view.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's good, I think, to ask for help and to not, I think you guys are really good about that. Like not, even though you are in outlying territories, you were really good about staying connected. And I think that also helps that connection too of your coworkers and getting to know them.
Yeah, I agree. And I have never in any job ever had the support that I have with this job and this team. I mean that. I mean, I say it all the time, but it's true. It's just makes such a difference to know that you have that support. Really. Don't think
Well,
I couldn't do it without Kaylani. I know I couldn't.
she's amazing, guys.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get her on the podcast, but I haven't got it yet. I'm going to have to work with her a little bit. Mallory, it looked like you had something.
Actually, I was going to chime into Vina's statement, about, using a lifeline and stuff like that. But one thing I always tell everybody, no matter how long you've been in this industry or think you know it, you don't. I hate to say it like that, but you don't. Every day you learn something new, and every day is a new learning experience. So you just got to take it with a grain of salt and keep on going, and be willing to adapt to it, right? That's the thing, is that you want to continue to learn, not only for yourself, but also to possibly help others once you learn it as well. So every day is a learning experience, and it's fun and something's new.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it's fun and it's frustrating.
That too.
Yeah, because just when you know it, it's going to change.
It is.
Yeah, just when you get there. And I like how Vina said it, like it asked, the more you learn, the more questions you have. And so, so it does. I mean, there's a lot of layers to this, and there's a lot of not just not knowing the products, but and being an expert in that, but also learning, all the systems and, how, engagement and all that other stuff is a little bit more complicated. But you guys have really, and they will not give themselves credit for it, but y'all have really taken the ball and just run. I mean, and so, I feel bad, Lori. I feel like we're always like, she's in Oklahoma. She's been doing this for a while, and she's just, run with it. And so I'm like, wait, she's still, is learning about our factories and things like that. And so, but I think that's,
but just the fact that you have faith in me, it is motivating too. You know what I mean? That there's that, again, going back to the team, just the fact that you trust me to do my job is awesome. Makes it easy.
it makes it fun.
Yeah.
That was like a mantra of mine. It still is currently, but especially when I first started, I would always say to myself, they wouldn't task me with something if they didn't know that I could handle it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I think, wait, I'm supposed to do this? What am I supposed to do? But we're figuring it out.
Yeah.
Y'all haven't figured out we have like cameras on y'all, and like we're just punking y'all all the time.
It feels that way sometimes.
You're like, wait, what? So
I'm on camera number 3. Hi. No, just joking.
it's like, it's easy to say, oh yeah, I could just sit y'all in a, and I think I mentioned it with Macy and Alex, is that, we could put you in a room for a couple of months and tell you everything we know, but it's not going to mean anything until you get out and get your hands dirty. And you guys have definitely not been scared to get your hands dirty. So Lori, what do you, I get you've come from the factory side and distribution. So what has it been like? Because really well, no, you've had a rep job before, but like, how's the experience been different from distributor from factory to rep? What are the major differences you've seen?
I think, being able to work in like during COVID, working in the dealer side too, like with Mallary, it's same deal. It's like that kind of experience. I think from a distributor side and even a food broker side, the most eye-opening part was going to work for a dealer, to be honest with you. But what I think the difference is, honestly, is the support. Again, I mean, even, as a factory direct rep, it's almost like you're not priority over the customer as an employee. So it was hard to get to the person sometimes to get the answers that you need. And I think that's just the difference of being on your own or being with a rep group, is that you have that support around you, the peers that are doing the same thing you are, that you can bounce ideas off of or learn from every single day. And that's valuable. That's what I love the most.
And I think seeing it from that lens, I feel like that makes you a better rep. I mean, in doing what you're doing today. I mean, because that what you experience as a distributor rep. Because if you're listening to this, and you're not familiar with the food service or sales organization, it's a little bit complicated, but not too much. So you've got your distributors that actually distribute the products, like thousands, tens of thousands of different products to all types of end users, restaurants, hotels, anywhere that sells food. And then you have, the factories that make the product. And then you have the reps, the manufacturer reps, or they call us brokers, that actually the factory hires to be their basically brand ambassador for their factory, and to help with, make sure that when people buy something, whether it's buying something to pull it into stock to have readily available, or the end user, the restaurant or hotel that's like, hey, I'm deciding between this or that it's our brand. And so that's our job is, distributors have to know a little about a lot, and we're responsible about knowing a lot about a little. And so, Mallary, you're really fresh in coming from the distribution side for a while to being a rep, which is a different world. So what has it been like for you?
It is. It really is. I told you, I thought I knew what it was like out there. And once I got on this side, it's a whole entire new world. It really is. Learning more on this side has been really eye-opening. Meeting more people too. I mean, goodness gracious, like I said earlier, the industry is so large, but yet it's so small too. But, I thought I knew a lot of people. I thought I knew a lot of end users, distributors and stuff like that. Now it's just an endless, it's just insane. And to, focus on the lovely factories that we represent and everything has been great. And actually to learn, just like Nancy said, to learn more into depth of these products, to be able to educate others, right, has been really good. Because yes, I knew a little about a lot, like all the factories that are out there basically. And now I'm learning, focusing more on each factory and stuff, and learning. And of course, like I said, it's been a lot of fun, and then to be able to educate others on it. I think that's one of my biggest pride and joy right now, is to teach others of what really is out there, because sometimes you don't know what is available. So yeah.
I thought I would maybe get bored. I don't know, being a manufacturer rep. I don't know if y'all ever felt that way, because I like having a ton of things to sell. And it's been interesting because I haven't, in the past 8 years we've been doing this, I haven't gotten bored yet. I mean, it seems like we're like the innovation is constantly there. And, so that kind of surprised me how much I'm like, oh, it won't take me long to learn this. But I'm like, wow, I never knew the depth of knowledge you could gain from all of this. So, which is, it can be, you're like, man, I'm 20 years into this. Why haven't I figured this? Why am I still learning something new every day? But I think you have to be a masochist to like want to do this. Like, yeah, I don't want to
I wonder that too sometimes. I'm like, what? Yeah.
So Vina, so tell us about being new to sales. Like, what's your favorite part of being a sales rep?
Well, I don't know. It's hard because there's like being a sales rep, but then there's being a W-3 sales rep. And you guys have already talked about that, but this is such an amazing team. And so being part of this specific team is my favorite part. I mean that sincerely. And you guys know that I did kind of stalk you. Like I learned about your company and I said I need to be part of this group. So I don't have much to compare it to, but that is definitely my favorite part of my experience so far is just being part of this sales group. Like I know Nancy and you've talked about like discovering that sales was for you. Like I don't know if I had that moment, but I just knew that W-3 was for me. Sorry, I'm kind of psycho about W-3.
Oh, that is so sweet. I love that. And
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You're not psycho, Vina. I get it.
Well, thank you, Lori.
so Lori, what do you love about sales?
I think that every day is different and and you get to make new friends constantly. I mean, that's and I think I mean probably a little bit different for me being in Oklahoma and I know Vina and Mallory, us kind of being in the outskirts. My friends are my customers, so that's why I don't get lonely. I'm constantly looking to make new friends and I love that. I just love that feeling when I connect with somebody and that it doesn't happen every single day, but at least I mean it's a numbers game. I don't know, like 2 out of 10 you're going to walk out of there and go, wow, that was just a really cool connection, or I learned something just now that I never knew before. That's what it is. It's the constant evolving and learning part of it that I enjoy the most.
What about you, Mallory?
To me, it may sound a little different, but sales to me is not necessarily sales, right? Like we want to see those numbers, we want to produce and stuff like that. But to me, it is the passion. To me, I feel like if you're not in the food service industry, maybe I feel like I'm an interior designer for your new home. I feel like I'm your architect to your dream home, grab that, lamp, the Aladdin lamp, right? And your wishes, and hopefully I can help make that come true. Like we want to basically put ourselves in your shoes to achieve what you vision. That's how I see sales. And to me, it's not, yes, of course we want to close that sale. Yes, of course we want that the end final and stuff like that. But to me, the passion and the true sell and the final closure is when you actually help somebody achieve their goal. Let me assist you do that, basically.
That's awesome. I love how you described that. I mean, that was really cool. So, that's really awesome. I like how I'm your designer. I'm your genie in a bottle, right? Nobody wants to hear me sing. So, but yeah, I'm a genie in a bottle. So, okay. So I'm gonna wrap this up, but before I do, I've got to get you guys' confession. Who wants to start? Who should go first? Who wants to go first?
I'll go first because this happened today. So my confession is that I get like crazy excited for showroom appointments and it feels almost like I'm going on a date. And so like I kind of like nervous the night before, I can't really sleep and I kind of go over my head what I want to talk about. And then I get there early and I like light a candle and I have my playlist all set. And the first showroom appointment that I had, I was so excited. I got there early and then my playlist played and I wasn't prepared for like a second playlist. So I listened to the same playlist 3 times waiting for my date to show up. And then when they cancel, I really feel like I've been stood up or something. But I love showroom appointments. That's my confession.
It does make you feel stood up. I
It just-
mean, they have legit reason, right? I mean,
Totally. I had 2 appointments lined up today. I felt like such a player. I was like, who am I? You know? And then the chef from the second appointment, we're rescheduling. He was sick, but even so, I was like, "Are you really sick?" You know, like, are you just bailing on me? So anyway, I get very, very into showroom appointments.
You've been doing great at it, by the way. I love it. Thank you. Yes. Fantastic job.
Thank you.
Mallory, what's your confession?
Mine is not really work related or anything. I guess mine's kind of goofy, but my family knows. I'm actually terrified of balloons.
Really?
I feel like I should have known this about you.
Have we had balloons at any of our events?
Like, I mean, I'll be around them and stuff like that, but like I remember like, for a couple of my kids' birthday parties and stuff like that, one time I had my car like full of balloons and I'm all like driving like I mean, I don't like balloons. I don't like the loud popping of them. And like I'm actually kind of I'll stand, but if you come close to me with a balloon, I'm like, oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm terrified of balloons. There's my
I've never heard about
do
that.
not torture me with a balloon now.
You won't. I'm like, oh my gosh, do we have balloons at our Christmas thing? Like any of our last things? So we will clear the balloons, not for a latex allergy, but for Mallory, we'll clear a balloon. So okay, that's interesting. That's a very interesting one. So
now you know. Now the whole world.
now I know. Now I know.
So I'm going to be tortured with balloons probably next visits, right?
We wouldn't do that. So Lori, what is your confession?
Well, okay, so I'm just going to share a little game that I play with myself pretty much on a daily basis. I think it's going back from when I was a kid, you get all your stuff done, you get like a prize, you get a little. So during the day to day, after like I get out in the morning and I have my list of calls to make, I will set like a goal. Okay, after I make my third call, I'll stop and get a Diet Coke or little things like this. I don't know. I keep myself motivated that way. And I have shared it with a couple of people on the team. It's my treat yourself game. So yeah.
I love that.
I like that.
So
What is the best treat you've ever given yourself?
how bad the list was or how big it was, I mean, it could be shoes, it could be earrings, nail polish, it's typically Diet Coke or ice cream.
But so if you walk in with a new pair of like red bottom shoes, like that customer should know that you were really tough. They were really tough on you.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. I completed some major task if you see that. So yeah.
I love that game. I mean, I just love that treat yourself. So I might have to use that. So
yeah. Especially
that's a really that
when you're like in a rut or not, you know what I mean? When you need to really get like, you don't have anyone around to motivate you. Like kind of what I'm used to is you got to motivate yourself that way. It's like, I can go do this after I do this, like a little kid, just like a little kid.
But it's so I have that make one more call, like the one, at the end of the day, because you're like, oh, I don't even want to go, I could just go home. And then it's always that call that it turns out to be your best call. Like you could have
that's the truth.
And then you go to you push yourself to get that one more sales call and you're like, oh, that was really awesome. Or I don't know if you had that.
When Jennifer was here, our last call had literal peacocks living there.
Oh, I saw that picture.
Yes.
There was like 5 of them. Just it was amazing. It was amazing. And the chef was amazing, and we made a great connection. But there were peacocks there too, and we would have, never seen that if we didn't go as our last.
Yeah.
That looked amazing. You never know what you're going to see. So.
No, you don't.
Okay, I have so maybe I'll have confessions, even though like I wasn't gonna have one. I did. So one time I went on a sales call for somebody else, and it was not in Dallas. It was a city west of me. I'm not gonna say any names, but so I walked in and this guy had like a pig, like a big pig in his restaurant. and it was like his pet. And he was like walking around, blinking, and I'm like, what's happening here? Like,
Did he
what?
serve bacon? I mean, was
I'm
he?
only 30 minutes from Dallas. What's happening?
Oh, oh my
Is
God.
that allowed? Is that okay? I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it was fun. I mean, hey, different strokes for different folks. And I mean, he has a lot of followers on Instagram. I mean, the pig does. And so, but yeah, you never know what you're gonna find. I mean, peacocks, pigs,
Yeah.
pigs. So
Yeah.
who would have thought? But anyways, well, thank you guys so much for joining me today. I really can't wait to have you all back on because there's so much more that I'd love to dig in about, like your sales experience and how you organize yourself, how do you motivate yourself a little bit further, but we'll save all of that for later. So if you're listening to this podcast, you might want to download this and subscribe because we have a lot of fun stuff and you don't want to miss Vina, Mallary, and Lori on future episodes. So thank you, ladies, for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being part of W3.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
We love it.
All righty, guys. Until next time, we'll see ya. Thanks for joining Confessions Beyond the Food. For more inspiration, follow our social media at W3 Sales. Please like, comment, and subscribe. You know, all the things. We would love to connect with you.